Okay, let's dive into S.E. Hinton's classic novel, The Outsiders. It's a story that throws you right into this world of intense rivalry and loyalty, all about trying to find where you fit in. We're going to break down these incredible opening chapters and get to know the characters at the heart of it all. Right from the jump, we get one of the most famous opening lines ever. We meet our narrator, Ponyboy Curtis, and this sentence, it tells you so much about him in just a few words. He's a dreamer, he loves movies, but it also shows you he's a little bit alone. As he says, nobody else in his group really digs movies and books the way he does. And boom, just like that, he tells us who he is. He's a greaser. And that's not just some label he throws around. No, it's a rule for survival. Because in his world, greasers can't walk alone too much or they'll get jumped. That one line just sets the stage for the constant danger these kids are living with.
So, this threat of getting jumped, where does it come from? Well, it's not random. It all comes down to this deep, bitter conflict that basically splits his world, which feels like it's set sometime in the mid-1960s, right down the middle. It's a rivalry between two very different groups. So let's get the definition straight, right from Ponyboy's mouth. You've got the greasers, who are the boys from the poorer east side of town, and then you have the Socs. That's short for socials, and they're the west side rich kids. It's a classic wrong side of the track story.
And when you lay it all out like this, you can really see the massive gap between them. And it goes way deeper than just greasy hair versus fancy Madras shirts. It's about class, it's about territory, and it's about how the world sees you. You know, the Socs might get called a public disgrace in the paper, but the greasers, they're just written off as hoods.
And this whole rivalry, it isn't just talk. It gets real, and it gets real fast. Ponyboy makes that one simple mistake. He's walking home by himself, and suddenly this red Corvair loaded with socks pulls right up alongside him. This isn't just a friendly hello.
I mean, how chilling is that line? A sock flips open his switchblade, and just like that, they've got Ponyboy pinned to the ground. The threat of that cold blade at his throat, it's just a brutal, terrifying look at what it means to be a greaser caught in the wrong place.
Okay, so just when you think it's all over for Ponyboy, help arrives. The socks scatter, and we get to meet the crew, the guys who always have his back. We get to meet his gang.
And you have to understand, for Ponyboy, this isn't just a bunch of friends. It's everything. His parents died in a car crash, so this group, they're the family he has left. He and his two brothers, Darry and Sodapop, are only allowed to stay together as long as they don't get into trouble. This gang is their whole support system.
So let's meet the family. First up is Darry, the oldest. He's only 20, but he's basically the dad. He had to grow up way too fast, giving up a college scholarship to work and keep the family from being split up. Ponyboy sees him as being super hard on him all the time, but you can tell Darry's just carrying this incredible weight on his shoulders.
And then there's Sodapop. He's the complete opposite of Darry in a lot of ways. He's this movie star handsome, happy-go-lucky middle brother. Yeah, he dropped out of school, but Ponyboy says he understands everybody. He's really the heart of the family, the one who keeps the peace.
Okay, and rounding out the crew, you've got a few other key players. There's 2-Bit Matthews, the wisecracking jokester who always has something smart to say. There's Steve Randall, Soda's best friend, who's a total genius with cars. And then you have Dallas Winston, Dally. He's the toughest, the meanest, the guy you really don't want to mess with.
And last but definitely not least, we meet Johnny Cade. He's kind of the gang's pet, the little brother to everybody. His home life is just awful, and he's still really shaken up from a bad beating he got from the Socs. For Johnny, the gang isn't just like a family, it is his family. It's pretty much the only place he's ever known love.
So, you've got greasers on one side, Socs on the other. Seems pretty simple, pretty black and white, right? Well, things are about to get a whole lot more complicated. Let's head to the nightly double drive-in with Ponyboy, Johnny, and Dally.
So at the drive-in, Dally, being Dally, starts giving these two sock girls a hard time. He's being loud, obnoxious, really trying to get a rise out of them. But one of them, a redhead named Cherry Valance, is not having it. She fires right back at him, showing a kind of toughness that completely catches him off guard.
And then something absolutely wild happens. Dally keeps pushing, and out of nowhere, it's Johnny, quiet, scared Johnny, who speaks up. He tells Dally, the toughest guy in the group, to leave her alone. And everyone is just stunned. But because it's Johnny, who Dally has a huge soft spot for, it actually works. Dally stalks off. It's a huge moment.
Johnny's courage just completely changes the vibe. All that tension, poof, it's gone. And suddenly, these two sock girls, Cherry and Marcia, are inviting Ponyboy and Johnny to sit with them. For the first time, we see those hard lines between the groups just start to fade away as they actually start to talk. And this conversation between Ponyboy and Cherry, it leads to maybe the most important theme in the whole book. It's an idea that's going to make Ponyboy question everything he thinks he knows about his world.
Okay, but before we get to that big idea, we need a quick vocabulary lesson. Greaser Slang 101. Ponyboy breaks it down for us. Tough is like strong, rough. But tough, that means something is cool or sharp, like a tough car. It's a small thing, but it's totally key to getting their world.
All right, so here it is, the big one. Ponyboy can't imagine what kind of problems a rich sock girl with nice clothes could possibly have. And that's when Cherry just drops this bombshell on him. It completely blows his mind. He assumes money solves everything, but she tells him, nope, everyone's got their own battles. Things are rough all over. Now, this gets Ponyboy thinking for sure. He starts to see her point. But he also knows that even if the Socs have their problems, the Greasers' problems are different. They're a whole other level of rough. And if you want proof, look no further than Johnny. Ponyboy tells Cherry the story of how Johnny got jumped by a group of Socs. One of them had a bunch of rings on his hand and just destroyed Johnny's face. That kind of trauma, that physical violence, it doesn't go away. It's why he's so jumpy all the time, and it's why he started carrying a blade. So that leaves us with this huge question, right? Cherry says things are rough all over. And after hearing about Johnny, we know that's true in a brutal way for the Greasers. So if everyone is struggling, why are they fighting? What is really keeping these two groups at war? Is it really just about money and where you live? Or is there something much deeper going on? That's the question that's going to drive the rest of this unforgettable story.